Alright, everyone, welcome back to the channel here. Yes, as you can see right now, my face, I'm wearing a face mask in big old 2026. No, it's not because I like wearing this. And yes, I lost my cloth, okay? I lost my old face mask. The another reason here is I like my privacy and my face is pretty much chopped as fuck. So in this video, I would like to talk about ActMan's recent video on Battlefield is being ruined by EA. And by watching the entirety of the video, I can't help myself. I completely agree with him. Let's just dissect it little by little here, okay? First, let's just talk about the game itself. Because I heard a lot of people saying that the game is a complete failure. For me, it's just wrong. It completely misses what actually happened here. The game didn't fail at launch. It dominated, okay? First of all, let's just be clear in that. The game sold 7 million copies in just 3 days. That is developers' wet dream right there. I mean, there's a game I would like to point out. I mean, I can't remember what the game is, you know. There's a game that is completely failure at launch. This forces the studio to basically shut down the entire studio. I mean, I can't put my finger into it. I mean, so if anything, it was a massive success. But here's the thing, it's kind of frustrating, you know, when I think about it, because it didn't have to go this way. And I also dive deep into this. It doesn't have to go this way. The real issue, it wasn't the game itself at its core. It was the direction the developers and publishers decided to take after the launch. Okay? Instead of building what made the franchise special, they just started chasing trends or whatever it is. You can clearly see they are shifting more focus towards the battle royale, you know? Look, I get it. Everyone wants their version of success in battle royale. For me, personally, if you ask my opinion, any first-person shooter that started off like arcade first-person shooter and then suddenly wants to shift into battle royale and making it free, that just screams to me, and also tells me that the developers like, hey, I need more money, so let's just make it into a battle royale, throwing in the skins, throwing in all the emotes, all the voice quips, all the whatever it is that can make money. Battle pass or whatsoever, skin collabs, or maybe a new feature, memberships. Do you guys know what membership is? Oh my god, it's completely the best paid subscription of a game ever. But the problem is, the franchise was never about that. People didn't come to Battlefield for Battlefield Royale. They came to Battlefield for Battlefield. All the large-scale warfare, all the tanks, all the planes, all the snipes, all the rocket launch, all the silly things, and all the chaotic cinematic moments. They all came for that. Look, I cannot say the basic lie, team coordination and strategic gameplay, because 80% of in any Battlefield games, there were never team coordination or strategic gameplay whatsoever. Because if they are, there will be no camping tanks 500 meters away and just completely obliterating your team, while your team didn't do anything about it. You know, that one teammate who's on the plane, you know, their job is specifically to destroy tanks or whatsoever. They never did that at all. Okay, that's why I never include team coordination and strategic gameplay in there, because who plays that? Who plays Battlefield for swipes? You know, who does that? Look, by diverting resources into trying to compete with other games in a completely different space, they are basically neglecting the core multiplayer experience here. Which leads to another major issue that ActMan point out, is the map design. I played Battlefield a little bit because, you know, I don't own Battlefield, even though I really want to own it. Not because like I'm broke to have the game. I'm too broke to buy a new graphics card here. My rig is not that powerful enough, but I do play a little bit of Battlefield in internet cafes. Maps in Battlefield in general are basically the fundamental types on how the game feels and how the game flows. You know, we need to have like the high ground, we need to have some sort of building, we need to have some sort of low ground, or maybe some water, and maybe some perhaps like a crate, or you know, anything that makes the maps feels dynamic. You know, you have room to breathe, you have room to plan, and you have room to approach. But I mean, in a recent one I played, probably like a month ago, I can't help it, but the maps feels a lot smaller. They're more symmetrical. It's like it's more focused on fast-paced action. That might sound good on paper, faster gameplay, easier to pick up for casual players, but it's stripped away the tactical depth. Okay, in Battlefield, basically, you cannot jump shot. You cannot slide, jump with your AR and expecting the bullets go straight. No. That don't work here. A fast-paced action in Battlefield, it feels like Battlefield. It just feels like another arcade first-person shooter, you know? I mean, this shift might attract new players, casual audience or whatsoever, but the core players, man, you are basically alienating them. The ones who've been supporting your franchise for years, even decades, and losing the core audience is incredibly hard to recover. And I'm gonna make an example. Just take a look at Overwatch. So now let's talk about the next part. The expectations. I've read some articles that the publisher reportedly set a target for 100 million players. What? I'm sorry, what? 100 million players? 100 million? Why? Just think about it for a second there. Is that expectation realistic or unrealistic? I definitely feel for EA staff here, because every decision that they make, instead of making the best game possible, every decision just becomes about chasing numbers. Instead of refining the game, what already worked, the game got pulled in too many directions. Too many. Trying to be everything at once. And then where the hell that leads to? Not satisfying anyone. And the player numbers reflect that. After the massive launch, the game lost almost 90% of its player base. Can you imagine you lost 90% of your player base? That is going for hundreds of thousands of people, going down to 20 or maybe even as generous, 200 people. Here's the thing, okay? Players didn't leave because they hated the idea of the game. They left because the experience didn't match what they came for. And we get to what might be the most controversial part of all. The layoffs. How can a game sold 1 million copies in days leads to job cuts? And from what I read, the official reasoning was aligning teams. You don't align teams by firing them. I mean, is this what corporate language is? I mean, what is anything anymore, man? I mean, the way I can think of it is just they're cutting costs, streamlining operation, and potentially positioning the company in a certain way. I mean, that is my logical reasons of it, but it starts to feel less like a creative failure and more like a management one, you know? Look, Battlefield 6 as a game, the potential was there. The audience was there. The sales proved that people wanted this game. Instead of nurturing that success that they have, they shifted their directions into something else, and also making decisions that didn't align with the players itself and what the players actually valued. Look, when people say that this game's failed, I think that's a wrong way to look at it. For me, they didn't fail. They failed to sustain their success, you know? A lot of companies right now should look at EA and probably do like a study here, because how can you have everything going right from the start and still lose by misunderstanding your audience, your identities, and your priorities? Should have worked. It should have been one of the greatest Battlefield game ever. Instead, it became an example of what happened when a game forgets what made people love it in the first place. And yeah, gentlemen, I believe that says about it. Please be sure to leave a like and subscribe, and comment down below. What do you guys think about this entire fiasco here? Do you guys agree what ActMan said? Do you guys disagree or agree to disagree? I love to hear about your thoughts. We here in the Record Solo channel, we are highly intellectual people. We debate. We never fight. Yeah, that's about it. See you.